a great morning. But I don't like the word mourning because it says mourn, like we're mourning something. See, what it is, it's almost like this has been the land of the dead. And the real rising up is in a sense going out of the body, but dropping the veils that have been separating us from ourselves by our believing everything we have been taught, all these rules and regulations, how you're supposed to, about all of this stuff we've been taught. And the key is, and this is my topic, eliminate violence. Get rid of violence. And I know it seems violent to get rid of violence. So that's not, and it's also like violins. It's not violent, but violence is abuse. And it is it's cruelty. And some people, they get, have been like so-called aroused or something, or used in rituals or anything kind of a violence. See, you have to agree, in a sense, to whatever happens. And people don't realize they're agreeing to things of violence because we've been violent. And we're accepting that kind of violence is okay because everybody's doing it. After a while, nobody even notices. If you go to a market and you go into the meat market, you just see these, cut up body parts. They're of animals, packages, but nobody thinks of where they come from, what these animals have been eating, what it does when you process all of this, all the pain and suffering that goes on a lot. Oh no, but it tastes good. This is a dividing line. And the power is in the moment, in the now, because you are powerful. The God presence that you are part of, that we are drawing from, is powerful. There is no other power, you see. And what happens is when someone tries to usurp that divine power by trying to take that for themselves, their own enjoyment at the cost and the pain and the suffering of others, because that's how duality works, positive and the negative. So you have all the people suffering, masses, huge numbers, or of people suffering, momentary pleasure or of that, and you have then a few going over the top in all of this pleasure and showing it to you all the time. You have to realize those are pretty miserable people. One of the keys that happened when I went to India the first time, and Nepal and Kathmandu and such, and trekking in the Himalayas and things, I found people who we would call here poor, but they weren't. They were rich in family, caring for each other, what would you say, giving from their heart. Children were just playing with some rocks and a wheel and playing, hopscotch, and it was like they were just, and so sweet. And what is it in this realm where the most gentle could be a bunny rabbit, could be a baby deer, a baby child, or a young person, and kind and sweet, and then those are the ones abused. And it's that preying on the gentle. It's not divine. So how we eliminate violence and stop violence is to stop practicing violence on ourselves, our loved ones, people we know. I'll tell you, it's almost like it was difficult to become a real person. And when I started really working on it, I'm still working on it. I mean, it was like, because you're eternal, why not start now? Because now is all there is. We say, well, someday I'll be gone. No, you're not going to be gone. And then you get caught back up in the trap again because you go to somebody else's false light and their false heaven promise. when you're a divine being who is home is the spiritual domain with your own divine spiritual body? We already have that. But it's almost like we're asleep and dreaming of, or somehow so indoctrinated, every choice we make. See, people say, why is there all this suffering? Because choices are accumulative. And when violence becomes a natural way, killing of animals becomes a natural way, killing of other people becomes a natural way, don't you question that? You have to look at, where do you get your beliefs? Where do they come from? And things get told to us over and over and over again. This is why it's like there is no greater work to liberate yourself. And it's almost like, how do you get out? Don't be in. How do you stop playing a game? Don't play. And because you are eternal, and whatever's to be is going to be up to you by the choices that you're making, and the divine, the beloved, is with us. But we have to activate ourselves to truly choose in every moment kindness, compassion, love, caring, but you're not like caring for somebody and you're like tortured. No, it's not that. It's the true sense of choosing to. Because our nature is service, it's giving. And our nature is activity. And you could start now, because that's all there is. And that means to love the divine, the God within, with all that we're all part of, with all your heart, your mind. See, your mind isn't the second voice, fear, anger, the mind and the soul. Complete. And care for others as you would have them care for you. This is the end of evil. The end of living backwards. The end of ignorance. And that comes when you know who you are, and when you see the game, you know the trance, you know the magic spell, none of it works. You got to prove this. This is what you got to do. Sooner or later, and now is all there is. Be there now. Yeah. Together.